Did the noise go away? Thank you for coming to Lowe's. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. No, wrong entry. My bad.
To Lowe's?
Yeah, you ever Lowe's movie?
Lowe's
oh,
commercial?
you don't have Lowe's movie theaters here.
Oh, I was thinking about the hardware store, and I was thinking,
So-
I guess I'll sit back and relax in a Lowe's, but not really what I do there.
We had a Lowe's. Now it's Lowe's, I think, is the hardware store.
Yes.
And then Loews is the movie theater.
Huh.
And in one of the towns I lived in, they were in the same plaza.
Oh.
We called it.
I'm going to Lowe's. You never know.
We
where
called
you're
it
gonna go.
Lowe's Plaza.
Why'd you call it that?
I don't know.
Was it really low?
And that was LOWS, yeah, because
Okay.
it was under the water line of
It was in a
the
depression.
Arctic.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? We didn't fitness today because
No.
we're out of shape.
Yes.
Let's leave it at that.
That's not true. I fitnessed a lot this week, and I'm really hurting.
Yeah.
I'll probably still do
fitness
deadlifts.
more.
Whatever.
I was okay with not fitnessing today because I misread a workout earlier in the week and I
Well, did
ruined
you now?
myself.
Did you?
Yeah, bad choices.
Yeah. So tell the people how many wall balls you did.
Well, the workout was supposed to start at 28 wall balls, and then
Yep.
you had to do that within 3 minutes if you don't read the notes. You had to do that within 3 minutes, and then you had to rest until the end of your 3 minutes, and then you had to do 29.
You weren't
and
supposed to rest,
Had to
but
rest.
okay, yeah.
Again, I'm just reading
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
Oh,
not
yeah,
reading
yeah,
the
yeah.
notes.
I will
So,
take responsibility.
28,
for the
then
fuck up.
29, then 30, then 31, until you cannot complete said amount within
Right.
the 3 minutes.
Right.
So I'm really good at wall balls, so I went unbroken for most of the sets until I got to like 38 or something. And then I was like, I should probably break once. So I'd break once
So at
and
30,
still have lots of time, like 2 minutes of
at
rest.
38, you have done 364 wall balls, by the way.
Yeah, so I'm at like 364 wall balls in, and I'm still, so I'm like, okay, I'm done with going unbroken. I'll start breaking once.
you fucking
And why
pussy.
once? I would only break with 10 left.
You pussy.
Because it just felt like a good number. So then I would break, then I would go again, finish the 10, then rest for like a minute and a half.
Okay.
And then by the time I got to 38, that was when I was like, this is kind of stupid. And then I got
took
to
you-
40.
It took you, now mind you, it took you over 300 wall balls to think this is probably not what was meant to happen here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then I got to once I got to
You're
38
quick.
though,
You're quick.
then I'm like, I might as well get to 40.
Well, yeah,
because
I
it's
mean,
a round
obviously.
number
Yeah,
at that
yeah,
point.
yeah.
So
I
then I
mean-
finished the 40. I still had some time left. I looked at the clock, considered continuing, and said, no. At this point, I've done 442 wall balls. I think I'll call her a day.
Yeah.
And then I've not been able to walk right all
I'm pretty
day.
sure if I did it, I would have did at least 483 wall balls, but whatever.
You would have gone one more round?
That's right.
Why?
Just to beat you.
That would have been a bad choice.
There's no way. I wouldn't be able to get to 300. I would have failed well before that. I cannot. What happened to her?
Remember how this was not working? Yeah.
Is it back? Is it back? Hello?
Hello? Quality.
Yeah, so
Technical difficulty. I
Well-
think we're back online. Thank you,
Until
Coach
you move
Tommy,
your-
for coming in on pressing buttons.
yeah.
We're gonna blame you for the failure too.
Until you move your fucking hand. See, you're touching it. You're the problem. Look at you.
I think it's still working though.
So we
Okay, so
we were like, hey man, what do you want to talk about today? I don't know. Let's bring it back to episodes 1 through 30 where we had technical difficulty every fucking time.
let's just spend the whole time with that.
And let's take 10 minutes and go through all the pieces of wire and equipment that we've bought throughout this fucking show, and we still can't get a goddamn show to go off without a hitch.
we can most of the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we decided to talk about today though is fitnessing.
Oh, big shot.
Specifically-
20 minutes of fitness. We're going to talk about fitnessing.
So specifically, what we were talking about is your little dumbbell.
PR.
Um,
Sorry.
So before COVID, everything was what it was as far as fitness. We were all going to CrossFit gyms.
Right.
There was lots of people going to 24-hour fitnesses. There was lots of people going to other junk versions of CrossFits.
Yep.
And
There was a lot of
that going on.
There's lots of CrossFit, crossfitting, CrossFit knockoffs. A lot of people doing weightlifting.
Yeah.
Weightlifting was at a nice high, probably like in local 24-hour gyms. Everybody was going in there doing that stuff. Right?
Then COVID came, and for the first bit of it, some people were like, we can't be around people. And other ones of us were like, fuck it, we don't care. And then we kept continuing. And then it came to a point fairly quickly where they said, we're going to give you huge fines if you stay open.
Right.
So then everybody shut down.
Yeah.
In fact, we shut down a little extra early.
Right.
Because you were conservative for some reason.
Because I was sick.
That disappeared quick.
Yeah.
But, so then people shut down, and then everything stayed shut down for, 3 months?
Yep.
And then it opened up a little bit, then it kind of shut down again?
Yep. 6 weeks.
And then it opened up again,
Outside.
but with all kinds of restrictions.
Right. Yep. Dumb.
And then slowly has finally come back to having everything back
Just
to
about.
Normal, basically.
Yeah, you're supposed to be wearing a mask, so no one is, by the way.
Are you still supposed to wear a mask when you're fitnessing?
So everybody's been wearing their masks now for 6-7 months under their nose and on their chin. So no one's chin's got COVID. That's good.
Okay.
Their mouth and face.
So
Probably not
technically
either.
that's the restriction still, though.
Yeah.
And then at this point, we don't know the exact details, but you're allowed to run
really
full
know.
classes because your max capacity is a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
more than your fire capacity is so much more than what you actually have.
Yeah.
That you could run a 15-person class.
Yeah, I
without a
don't think
problem.
any gym is stuck by their whatever percentage of fire capacity because no one's putting that many people in a building.
No, not unless it's a
There's just not
competition.
enough room. There's not enough room. So yeah, so we're good.
So and then how is it all coming back though, as far as people coming back? Because that's kind of where I'm going with all this. So
so what's
personally, I stopped coming to the gym because I wasn't allowed to come here.
Right.
Started working at home, and then I've come back to a version of it where I spend some portion of my time working out, doing these workouts, but at my home gym.
Yep.
And I come to the gym sometimes.
Yep.
And I'm not afraid of COVID, but it's just
You just
convenient
gotta-
sometimes.
yeah,
so it's
so
kind of got
people-
into a different groove of it, right?
People obviously get in the habit. So before the habit was I'm going to work out at the gym. And then, a few people like yourself who had home gyms, they basically built home gyms, but you were still in the habit of working out at the gym. So you didn't really use your home gym, right?
Yeah.
So then when COVID happened, everybody started their own home gyms or at least got a few pieces of equipment.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people were crushing it in the early days of COVID because they're like, well, you're stuck at home. So...
I wasn't. I had to work the whole time.
But a lot of people didn't. So
Yeah, fair
they're
enough.
stuck at home and they're like, man, I got all this time. Oh, I could finally get a couple workouts in a day. And then all I really have to worry about is eating and then trying to figure out how to fill the rest of my day while sitting in my house. Right.
Yeah.
So Netflix didn't really have that much shit to watch. So that was out the window. So people worked out more, I feel.
Yep.
And then once people started going back to work,
That being said, some people were working out a
Some
lot
people,
more.
yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that ate the whole COVID-19
yeah.
and gained that extra 19 to 39 pounds.
I mean, here's the thing: is that you're not. It doesn't really matter how much you think you're doing at your house. You're probably not hitting the levels of intensity you're hitting in the CrossFit gym. Maybe in a regular 24-hour fitness gym where the intensity isn't really part of a lot of people's workouts.
Yeah.
So those people probably did fine. You can easily sit around drinking water in your garage as you could sit
Do your
around
3
drinking
sets of 10,
water
yeah.
in 24-hour fitness and do 3 sets in an hour. But CrossFit, like the difference between being next to somebody and not is huge.
And I feel like it definitely takes some time for people that, like Ben's a good example. Ben works really well off of other people,
Yeah.
but to his detriment sometimes. So now that he spent so much time working out at home, he's learned a little bit of his own pacing
Oh,
that
okay.
he didn't have before.
That's good.
So it's actually, that was kind of to his advantage. But then the other day when we were working out together here,
Yeah.
he when we did the Nasty Girls,
Yep.
he was doing it based off of me. And he had no business doing it off of me because
No,
I'm so much
that
worse at that workout
shit.
than him.
That
So he
workout's made
should have
for
done
him.
better, and he didn't. I almost beat him.
Yeah, that workout's made for him.
And that's a workout that I have no business beating anybody in, and I almost beat Ben, who's damn
Short.
good at that, right?
Short for the squats, really good at muscle ups, and his only issue would be the hang cleans, right? Hang
Yeah.
cleans? Yeah.
And then the other
But
one
even that,
that's
yeah.
the other one that that happened, same thing with Ben. We did Helen? Nancy?
Nancy, the overhead squats.
No, Helen. We did Helen the other day, right?
Okay.
And it was me, him, and Mono were all side by side.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. And he was chasing us at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
And I ended up beating him for the first time ever in that workout with a PR, by the way. Beat his PR too.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, that was one of those examples of coming back into the gym was actually to his detriment in his case.
Because he's not used to
the competition.
He's not
anymore.
used to what he would normally. He would know, don't try to hang with you on the run. And that's what he tried to do. He tried hanging with you two on the run, on the first run. And he did. And that's already game over because your strides are so much longer. You're just going to kill him there. And then
the parts that he excels at, he was breathing too heavy to go for.
Exactly. So, yeah, he probably.
So, moral of the story is Ben sucks.
Yeah. So, he just wasn't used to where to push against you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas in the past, we worked out together almost every day, yourself included in the Wii.
Yeah.
And so we would get used to working off, this is a one where it's running. Okay, let Paul go out in front a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to get him here.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Reel
Bryce is going to crush me on these box jumps, but I can get him on the next piece or whatever.
Absolutely.
So you got to get used to that again, which is different having to
yeah.
do those compared to when we're at home, we're just going against ourselves, which I've learned to push hard against myself.
Yeah.
But it's a different thing. And then you get some people, most people can't.
Well, here's the thing, too. So you always hear people be like, and we've had people leave here I wanted to get more competition, so I'm going to this gym. So we just watched all the semifinals, right?
Yeah.
All right. The people at those semifinals there are some that have good training partners, like, the training think tank guys.
Yeah.
But these are the top athletes that are, their ability to move their entire life to work out with Travis Mayer, Noah Olson, they've dedicated their life to that.
Like Brooke Wells and her whole little squad.
Yeah, Brooke Wells, Alec, her sister,
Alec Street, all those guys,
and then and Tia.
And Tia now,
now Tia is the coach, or I'm sorry, Shane is the coach. Like, that's huge. So you have these couple squads. You got the think tank. You got Proven. You've got obviously Mayhem is just fucking.
You got Misfit. They got a solid crew too.
I don't know. I don't know.
But there's lots of them.
But yeah, there are lots of them. But you take somebody like Jason Hopper, who crushed. Right, he got first place. He even said in a recent interview, which I think is not good. He said he's not willing to move because he likes. What is it, Greenville or Greenboro, wherever that is in North or South Carolina. He's like, this is where I always want to live. I love this place. My friends and family are here. I'll never leave here. And problem is it's not a real CrossFit hub, right?
Yeah.
So he's there by himself. He's getting to be games athlete by himself. And a lot of these guys, they started out.
Patrick Vellner.
Well, that's what I say. They all started out by themselves. Yeah. Not a single one of them. Yes, now they're clumping together because they have the ability, because they're already at the top. When they got to the top, they didn't have anybody to push against. Those guys that you see at semifinals, besides the ones that are multi-time game athletes, everybody else there really doesn't have anybody in the gym pushing them. The only time they have competition is at semifinals.
Yeah.
The games athletes, the only time they really have competition is at games, unless they've collaborated with other games athletes. But
someone like
general,
Vellner will get together with Emily sometimes because they live close-ish, but they're still
Emily,
hours apart.
Rolf,
So they don't actually get together very often at all either.
Yeah.
Vellner or Fikowski lives relatively close. Then, hours away.
And even then, like the Matt and Tia.
Yeah.
I don't give. You're working out with somebody. You're not competing against each other. I don't care what you say about fitness levels and how you scale it correctly. A guy and a girl are not fucking on the same. They're doing different workouts.
They might be fucking. Oh, sorry. I got you. Yeah, okay.
Oh, easy. I'm pretty sure Shane was always in the room. Well, fucking cuck.
He could be on either side of that. Tia might actually be on the back side of that one.
We don't know.
Just saying.
You get enough testing somebody.
But
you know what?
So moral of the story
I mean?
is going to a place with more people doesn't necessarily change anything.
The moral of the story is that, like, at a certain point in this CrossFit, like, you have to push yourself, because really, and even it could be at any point, because you're not there to push get the top time of the day. You're there to push yourself and advance your numbers, right? So, like, Helen is a good example. Any of the named WODs, right? That you're going to repeat, or any workout you repeat.
You want to beat your last one, not someone else.
If you have a previous time, your mindset should be, well, last time in Helen I did at 8:30.
Ouch.
What?
That's just a really long time.
Whatever. What'd you get? 8:21? Fuck you. So,
irrelevant to what you said. I was gonna say
yeah,
something.
Yeah, exactly. I should have said 8 minutes because then you'd be like, ouch. I'd be like, yeah, that's 20 seconds better than yours, by the way. And only 16 seconds better than mine. But that's the thing, right? You should look at your previous number because that's why we write these down to see how we're progressing. Like if I did Helen right now, there's no way I'm getting my best time because I'm heavier, I run slower. I know I run slower. The kettlebell would be way fucking easier. The pull-ups are negligible in any aspect, but my time would be shittier because I run slower now. But I could do it with the 70-pound kettlebell and probably have the same outcome. You know what I mean? Because I'm stronger now. I'm not fitter looking at just Helen, but I'm stronger in certain, different aspects. But
sure, well, it makes you feel good.
Yeah, exactly. But and actually, I'm definitely cardio, not as good as then. But that's what I need to be judging by, not what did Paul get. Because
and you probably shouldn't even look at my best ever time was this.
Yeah.
We're looking at like my recent
last time.
best is
your last time. Like we just did kind of a Karen, your wall ball situation. The last time I did Karen was like 7 minutes and 50 seconds. So with the burpee penalties every time you break, I got almost the same time. I mean, I was like a minute and a half slower, but like the burpees did cause a clear effect there. But I feel fine with that. Like I'm more fit than the last time I did Karen. I know that from this week's workout, right?
Yeah.
But if I look at it as, but I saw somebody else finished in my original my Karen time, like, I sucked. No, I got better. That's what you have to look at. If you're always looking at somebody else, somebody's always going to beat you, right? Like me, you, and Ben working out. Nobody took every one. It went depending on...
It would always change.
Yeah, it was always changing. So, and even
except for during the Open, you fucker.
Well, the Open.
I don't even know how that happens. We'll like consistently beat Bryce for like a month straight, and then the Open turns around, Bryce will win 5 in a row.
Gangster.
That's just how you roll.
It's only when it counts, baby. It's the only time it counts.
I feel like Castro's in the play in that, though. Because
the rest of the time I am trying to maybe just beat you guys. Like Ben's a better example than you or I, because we kind of push till we die.
We just kind of do our own thing.
If Ben gets in the lead by 10%, what happens? He slows down.
Yeah, he slows down. And we wouldn't slow down. That's true.
And if we get ahead of Ben 10%, what happens? He slows down.
Yeah, I was about to say, he'll usually slow down. You'd think he'd speed up, but no, that's not true.
So if we're even or within the 10%, he'll push. But once it comes out plus or minus 10%, he slows down. And then that brings it in. So if it's at the end of the workout and he's ahead, we start pushing harder. And then we'll tend to catch up with him. Versus him, he's...
I don't know where I heard it, but I heard... this was a while ago. I heard that you got to break the elastic. So if you're if I'm going against JT in a workout, and on the run, I'm like just a little bit ahead of him, that elastic will pull him along with me. Yeah. If I can go all out and sprint for a few seconds to get around the corner so he doesn't see me anymore, he's gonna fall off that horse, and I got him.
Yeah.
So you just got to break that elastic band, and then you can keep going, and you can slow down because he'll slow down a lot.
So recently, I've developed that same kind of aspect. I realized that it was actually in that 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 kettlebell swings and sit-ups. I realized that like the last 3 or 4 reps of anything, you start slowing down because you're like, I got this. And so instead I said, nope, keep that same intensity that you had for number 30 at number 50 because you're losing 4 seconds on 3 or 4 reps that you don't need to, you're about to break, right?
Yeah, so you're about to have that rest.
That's that same thing. Break that elastic versus letting it come back in, right? Instead, just keep it going. And that's kind of also a thing of how you feel relative to how the workout's going, right? You're like, all right, I got this set. I'm good, right? Like, I'm a couple feet ahead of him. I'm good. All I got to do is stay a couple feet. No, you should stop thinking about that person at that point. Go.
So back on topic.
Yeah. So that's, but that's very, so you have to learn that even if somebody's not there, you've got to push when somebody is there like they're not there, right? And when they're not there, you have to push like they are there.
So I think that being away from the gym was very good for a lot of people in that it taught you how to work out alone and how to play your own game.
Sure.
I think coming back now, I'm more likely to practice instead of compete or train instead of compete.
Yeah, me too.
Whereas it used to be, I'm trying to win every workout.
Yep.
I'd look at the leaderboard when I got in and say, I'm going to try to win this workout.
Yep.
But now I'm coming in and saying, like you said, for this workout today, you could probably get to 13, 14, maybe even 15 rounds on this.
Yeah, I won't like
it would hurt,
tomorrow, and
but
tomorrow
you
I'll
could.
be fucked. Yeah.
But if you're going to do this later today, you're going to try to do 7 just to beat Scrappy.
Yeah. Unless it becomes really easy.
Because, you don't want to get beat by Scrappy. That would be harsh.
Unless 15 minutes in, I'm at 10, and I haven't been pushing that hard, and then I'm like, okay, the top time's 12. I'm gonna go ahead and just push for 3 minutes and win, right? But
we all still like to win, but you're not going in
I've still
balls out to win.
I've still done an 80% workout because that's what I should be doing today. I shouldn't be going fucking 90 plus, right?
Yeah.
And that's training versus competing.
And that's very much been how we used to do it, a lot more so, especially when we all used to do the comp team. Mm-hmm. We would compete every night.
Oh yeah.
It was all about who was the best, and we would work out for 3 hours.
Yeah. And it works.
It works. It was fun. It made us all the best we ever were.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it wasn't very good for our bodies.
No. And it's not sustainable, right? It's after a little while, you're like, yeah, okay, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, this is going to keep going.
This started to fucking hurt. Yeah. No, that's definitely true. So, yeah, some of the people were kind of learn their own pacing, being not around people.
And then a lot of people
but then also,
did not come back. And a lot of people are coming in that weren't there before. So that's kind of an interesting twist on it, too. Some people aren't coming back at all. And I don't know if those people are just getting fat or if they're working out at home now or what they're doing.
It's a lot of
disconnected.
I decided to spend $1,500 on new equipment. I can't justify going and spending $1,500 on CrossFit membership. I need to do this at home. And then it takes a little longer to realize you're not doing this at home.
Oh, yeah. Right now, Craigslist is starting to get full of used equipment, right? It's starting to get there.
And then we're having people come back that we're no, we're good. We got stuff at home. We're never coming back. Like Tommy and Natalie, they decided to come back this month, right? They're two people that they bought a bunch of equipment or at least they were working out with neighbors and stuff like that. But they realized that they're at this point, that's fallen off because people start going back to work, right? You get back into your normal habit. Normal. Now, when you go home, you weren't sitting there all day. Now when you go home, you're like, I got to do laundry. I got to do dishes. I got to make dinner. It's not, I'm awake for.
You got to get a wife.
Yeah. It's I'm awake for I was talking about women, bro.
Oh, okay. I was just saying.
No.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything. I got to eat food. And
we just lost half our listenership.
Yeah.
Who are we kidding? No girls
we're
listen
down
to us anyway.
Yeah.
We're down to 2.
We lose them all the time.
Ben and Brett are both still listening.
Yeah. Andrew's there.
There you go.
Walker says he listens all the time too.
So,
shout out Walker.
Sorry for everyone that we just disgraced and saying terrible things. We don't mean any of it.
No, we don't mean it. We're trying to be funny. It's comedy.
We're not funny, but we think we're funny.
It's unfunny comedy.
Yeah, people laugh at us. It's not like a we're funny thing. It's just like a you idiots. I can't
as
believe
long
you
as
said
you're
that.
laughing. That's it. But yeah, so that's what happens. People.
And then what portion of people are new here that didn't come from? There's some portion of people coming in here now that were from other gyms that have closed down.
Yeah, that's true.
Some of that.
Yeah, we have a
and
bunch
then
of that.
What do we got for people that have never done CrossFit but gained that COVID-19 and now they need to slimmer down?
Lots. That's the thing. People are coming in. They're like, I gained 30 pounds during COVID, and they're like, I'd never, this is 20 pounds heavier than I've ever been. And so now they're panicking because it's like, now normally they wouldn't have to do anything as drastic as join the gym and actually work out. They'd be like, oh, I got to just, maybe I'll stop eating potato chips and I'll kind of get back into that body that I want or, that I'm okay with having, right?
Yeah,
now
tolerate it.
Yeah, tolerate it. Now they're like, I am so far from that I need help to get to the tolerable level of where then I could just cut out the chips and get to the point that I want to be at, right?
Yeah.
So you have a lot of that, which is bringing tons of new people into CrossFit, I think. I kind of feel like before COVID, CrossFit numbers were probably stagnating a little bit. And a lot of that was obviously CrossFit's lack of any sort of push of anything. It was actually
no marketing
shrinking from headquarters, right? That's changed, obviously.
Yeah.
Lack of any media coverage of anything. You know, thankfully.
Kind of ruining the sport of CrossFit, too, really.
Yeah, they killed the sport, and then kind of the whole Glassman thing probably brought more light to CrossFit, which is, that thing of any publicity is good publicity.
But you have heard of me.
Yeah, exactly. And then the selling
Jack
of it,
Sparrow.
and then the new owners, and obviously their new push to, get this right the ship, right, is huge. So I think
I like all this Jack Sparrow talk.
Yeah.
Right this ship.
Right the ship. And I heard Eric mention that they're now opening, they're getting X amount of new CrossFitters
Are they really?
Oh, you're so stupid. So stupid. Now you lost all the rest of the listeners. Fuck. Sorry, guys. Signing off. But yeah, so he said they're getting like X amount of CrossFitters every whatever, and he's like, it's up. So I think post-COVID is actually...
No one had to walk the plank?
Also, no. Also, we lost a lot of all this other bullshit franchises because the franchise
I haven't heard anything from them, at least. Like, there doesn't seem to be marketing and stuff. Like, our F45 and
because they're all
Orange
barely...
Theory, are they still alive? Did
No,
they
Orange
survive
Theory's
it?
gone.
Is it?
Yeah.
And then F45 is still there?
I think they're still there. But
I haven't heard... Like, I used to get stuff on social media about it, and I don't.
Yeah, somebody told me they thought they closed, but I believe they're still there.
Let's say they closed.
Yeah, we'll say they closed.
They're closed down.
They're closed.
They just did such a bad job of it that they just shut down.
But the problem is
Make that official.
the franchise model. Like, if you're still paying franchise fees, also they have to have certain equipment, all that stuff. So you're paying mortgages on that, like a year.
Yeah.
And you have a corporation that's like, hey, you can't open.
Yeah.
CrossFit, they didn't give a fuck. Like, the local CrossFit has affiliate managers for each region now, which Eric kind of rebuilt that.
Yeah.
The guy in California, Craig Howard, I think Craig Howard? I think it was him.
Craig Howard.
The
I
Diablo.
know him, of course.
CrossFit Diablo.
A Diablo, yeah. They call that. That's what they call my home gym.
That's right. El Diablo.
I know that guy.
That guy, he's like, hey, guys, to all my, because we fall into that jurisdiction. He's like, hey, whoever's under me, I have X amount of money that if you get shut down or fined, I will help you pay the fine, like for masks. That's why when they did the mask thing, I'm like, fuck the mask thing. If we get caught, fine. I'm calling him, help
and
pay the
just
fine.
Hope for the best that El Diablo's going to hook it up.
Of course.
Oh, worth a shot.
That's his job.
Yeah.
That's what he said he would do. So I'm like, that's at least a kind of a safety net if somebody did come in and give us a fine for not wearing masks. And I'm like, it's an unreasonable thing to ask people to wear masks in CrossFit. I mean,
yeah, that's stupid.
It's just stupid.
I did 2
or any
workouts with
fitness.
them on, and it's like just not okay.
Yeah, it's not okay. Yeah, good for all
But
you guys.
I crushed it, by the way.
Good for all you guys that sat there and suffered and listened to it. Good for you. I mean, it's fine. It's what you want to do, but it's not.
And some gyms still are.
Yeah,
I notice on like social media, some still are.
And you're not getting you're not going to acclimate to it. It's not going to ever be
it's not making you better at CrossFit because you can't
it's
breathe.
doing nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
we saw this when people started wearing the elevation masks back in the day, and we all made fun of them because they realized it was dumb. They did studies and realized, nope, it's not helping you, so stop it.
But we had multiple members that would show up wearing elevation masks.
Yeah. I had one. I fucking did it, yeah. But I tested...
I made fun of those people.
I tested the same workout, like 40 minutes apart, with and without. It's fucking night and day.
Did you do the with first or the without first?
I did with first so that I had more energy, so it would be easier with the mask.
And you still did way better without the mask?
Way better.
Okay.
Like, I think it took me 12 minutes with the mask. It took me like 7 minutes without it. And that's doing the same thing. And it was toes to bar and maybe thrusters. I don't know, something like that.
So there's actually maybe some truth to that, though, then, that it would maybe make you fitter because it's making it harder to do.
Yeah, but you're the only thing that's going to maybe help is your ability to suck air.
Yeah.
It's not going to help any strength.
No, that's for sure.
Because you're never...
But it might help your
breathing.
like your O2 max. Your
maybe.
VO2 max.
Your ability to suck in air. Yeah.
Yeah, possibly.
All your muscles of your... Yeah, it's like doing breathing exercises. You don't want to work out doing breathing exercises.
Yeah, or free divers often do a lot of workouts
Correct.
holding their breath.
So you know what? just do that. You'll get the same results as doing and not do a CrossFit WOD and possibly pass out and kill yourself.
Yeah.
Which is what we're talking about.
And that goes right into like there was a phase there where everyone bought vests.
Yeah.
And then everyone just started showing up to gym, like to CrossFit, with vests, no matter whether it was in the water or not.
Sure.
Like there was a strong period there where there'd be like 3 or 4 people in every class wearing weighted vests.
Funny.
And you're like,
Yeah.
why?
Not,
why do you have a 20-pound vest on? It's not part of what we're doing today.
Yeah, running with a vest will never make you faster.
No.
If that's your goal. Most people be like, oh, I suck at running, so I'm going to run with a vest so that I could run.
And then when I take it off, it'll be
When I take it off,
easy.
I'll run faster. No, that's not true.
No.
The only thing it would be good for is like if I'm going to run a mile with a vest, means that without a vest, I could probably run around that same pace for 3 miles, right? It's strengthening. It's strength.
Maybe. Not.
Yeah.
I think running with a vest is going to make you better at running with a vest.
No, that's true. But it will strengthen the structure that it takes to run.
A little bit.
A little
like
bit.
my leg muscles that are springing me off the ground, they don't care about that extra
Oh, no, it's
20
going to
pounds.
ruin your stride and it's going to ruin
It's
your
going to
pacing.
smash your knees.
Yeah, that's true.
So
too.
it's going to put everything in worse shape.
Yeah.
I really don't think it's a good idea.
Oh, no, I don't either. I
Or like to do like pull-ups with a vest. Okay, that I agree with.
Sure.
If you can do a set of 50
stronger.
unbroken butterfly with a vest on, you're going to do a hell of a lot better without the vest on.
Sure.
Or you could just do more without the vest.
So wait,
and
should
that
I
would be good.
work out with a mask? Or no? What are you saying? I'm
All
so
the
confused.
above.
I'm so fucking
put on your
confused
mask,
right now, Paul.
wear your vest, and then
damn
put
it.
your elevation mask on as well.
Fuck.
That's what I think.
I'm
you
just
should
going to
do.
wear a Halloween costume that weighs a lot of weight, and then I'll be a fucking gangster.
I want to wear one of the Halloween costumes with the blower inside, so I get that like little built-in fan.
Don't you have a sumo wrestler one or
Yeah, I got
something?
something like that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Something
But,
like
yeah.
All right. I don't know if we actually talked about anything of any significance.
I don't know. I don't know if we got to what we were going to talk about
peace.
COVID later.
Talked about something. 31 minutes in.